Hello, beautiful souls, awakened souls, everybody watching the replay because no one's here live yet, but hello anyway. I have something that I want to talk about today. I actually want to extend on something that I already started talking about on YouTube, but I just keep thinking about it, and I feel like it's, when you start diving into something and then you uncover like more layers, like I feel like it needs to go deeper. So what I'm talking about is the last video that I did on YouTube. It was called Soul Perspective. So that's what I'm talking about or referencing right now. But I feel like I need to go a little bit deeper into that. So the thought in that video was, there was actually a lot that I talked about in that video, but the thing that I started with is that the light is all things. And that just keeps coming into my mind today. The light is all things. And what do I mean by that? So the light is what some people would call source. Some people would call it God. Some people would call it the creator. There's like all of these different names or titles for it, but it's this one source. It's this one creator being. It's this one higher power where everything is coming from. And the reason that I started talking about this at all is, and hello to everyone joining, the reason that I started talking about this at all was because I started reading this book called The Sophia Codes, and I'm not very far into it, so I don't have an opinion yet, but what I am noticing is that the author of this book, her version of the light, or her version of God, I guess you could say, is this really powerful divine feminine mother called Sophia, and that's why the book is called The Sophia Codes. But Sophia in the book calls herself the divine mother creatrix of all beings, which is super cool. And hello Alicia, thanks for joining. So here's why I got thinking about this. Her version of the light is so different from my version of the light, but she has had so many experiences that completely back up her version, her experience, and confirm it over and over and over. And then I was thinking about that, and I'm like, well, the light, and this is where it just was like a download. I was like, the light is all things. The light is your version of, her version of God is Sophia, or source if you don't like the word God, but your version of the light is going to be one thing. My version of the light is going to be something different. Like mine is Baba, which I talk about here on this channel all the time, which means grandmother spirit or grandfather spirit. It can be both feminine or masculine or like both together. It's Baba, B-A-B-A. And it's so interesting to me how each soul has their own version or perspective of what that light is. And the light, source, God, reacts to us and probably what we need, but also like what our beliefs or our soul perspective is or what our experiences are, and it becomes that thing. So obviously the author of the book The Sophia Codes really needed this very powerful divine mother, feminine, female being to come forward. And you know what I remember now also, she described in that book that she went through a ton of sexual trauma. So that probably is exactly what she needed to feel safe and to feel, yeah, that's what came forward, right? Because that's what she needed. A powerful warrior woman that could protect her and had this divine feminine energy. That's what she totally needed and still maybe needs. But what you need is going to be so different. What I need is going to be so different. So the light is all things. And what form it chooses to show to you, when you reach out and you connect and you start making a personal connection with God or with Source, you will actually, be able to connect with a personality and maybe even a vision or a name that you call it. And what comes through, what the form that the light takes for you is what you need. And the form that the light takes for me is what I need. And so everyone needs something different. And why that's interesting is how many people start wars over this. No, my God is the true God and your God is the false God. And they're so sure because they've had experiences, visions, and it continually gets confirmed for them that that's what God is to them. But the thing is, it's their personal truth. It's what came forward for them because it was what they needed. That was the form that the light took, but the light is all things. So all versions are possible and are within the light, and just what comes forward is what you need. but that doesn't mean that it's the only truth. That's your personal truth. So like my neighbor's vision or view or feeling of what God or source is their personal truth. And they will have that experience and it will continue to be confirmed for them. And people like fight for this. They make wars for this. They die for this. And it's so real and so true for them because it is the truth and it is real. But if the light is all things, then it's everything. It's not just your truth, it's all truths. So that means that all personal truths, like how many people are on the planet, 8 billion people. If 8 billion people have a different idea of what the light is, of what God is, of what source is, and they're all 8 billion like personal truths then they're all real and they're all true, because the light is so expansive that it contains everything and it's showing all these different forms and connecting with people in different ways because that's what their soul needed. So like, what is the ultimate truth of God or source? It's all the personal truths together, because the light is all things. So it holds all of that within this ultimate truth. So the ultimate truth is all of the personal truths added together like a math equation. And that makes the ultimate truth. And that's what oneness is. Oneness is all of the different perspectives, all of the different beliefs. The light takes on all of these different forms and comes forward to people in all of these different ways. And that is oneness. And I hope that that makes sense. So the light is all things. And it doesn't mean that because you saw a man and someone else saw a woman, that one is more true or right than the other. It's both. It's all things. So I really hope that that resonates for people. Like, can we solve world wars now with this understanding? And then I wanted to go, so that was a lot about what I talked about on the YouTube video called Soul Perspective. So please check that out if that interests you. I go deeper into it. Plus I also describe the 2 different times where I've seen souls, like actually seen a soul that I can describe for you. And it was super like detailed and amazing. Yes, Alicia, if you want to ask a question, please go right ahead. I see your comment there. Please feel free to ask a question. Hi, Jamie. Thanks for joining. So the point was then, so check out that video for, also like a really cool orb like flew by in that video and it was like so dramatic for me because it was so huge and it was right when I was talking about seeing a soul of a friend that had passed away. So it was definitely that friend. So here's where I wanted to go deeper. So I went that deep in YouTube. I want to go one step deeper here with you guys and say, here's the one extra, okay, I held this back in that YouTube video because I felt like I had gone so deep that sometimes you feel like that's all a video can hold. But there was actually one extra thing that I was thinking. Here's the one thing that I was thinking, and I will pose it kind of like a question. So, okay, so you know how we are all from the light? Like there's this beautiful source of light and each soul is a piece of that, or at least that's what I believe. I think that's what a lot of people believe, right? And I do talk about that in the video, about how each soul is formed by this pinpoint of light from the source, and then around that is the energy or filters of their different lifetimes and their personality and all of that. Okay, so here's the question. Here's the deeper question that I didn't say on YouTube. If we are all from the light, where is the light from? Because if everything is created from somewhere, we are all created from that light. Okay, so the source is this like grand creator, and then we're all these mini creators. We are creator souls. We come from the grand creator. Then where is the light from? And here's kind of what I was thinking. So if the light is a creator and it's kind of like a sun, which would be like a masculine energy, then what if there is in this universe like a womb where everything is created from, including the light, including God's source. And this womb is like a black hole of birthing potential, birthing creation. So just visualizing, or I just had this visual of like this black hole, this womb of creator power that has like the mother, right? If God's source is the father, that divine masculine sun energy of creation, then maybe the mother is like this black hole divine womb where even source came from, where everything is coming from. This like, I don't know, like I've heard about like black holes being portals, being creators. I mean, it's just so interesting to me to consider that there is this like polarity between the God source being this light and the maybe divine creator mother being like a black hole womb. So Jamie's asking, what video are you talking about? And will it make me wake up 45 minutes later? Oh, no, it won't put you under like the healing did. I think what you saw, Jamie, was my live from the December 21st. And that was like a really deep installing upgrades into people. And so I need to put people like deeply under in order to like really work on their insides. Like I get in there and I shift things and I install upgrades. That's probably why you fell asleep. The video I'm talking about on YouTube is called Soul Perspective. It's the newest one on my YouTube channel called Starseed Academy. It shouldn't put you to sleep, but I guess you never know. So Alicia is asking a question. My parents, especially my father, are trying to understand my boyfriend's concepts on the light, which sound very familiar to what you're saying. Would you have any tips or videos I could send to them? I think like that last video, like I said, Soul Perspective defines it pretty well. And for them to, you know why it would be really good actually, is because then they can understand why everybody has a different concept or idea of what God is and why we have all of these different experiences with it. Because it explains in that video that the light is all things and what comes forward for each individual is different and unique because they need something different and unique. And their perspectives are different, their beliefs are different. Like we're all going to need something so specific. And so the light holds all things and then it comes forward, takes the form of something different for each individual. And that's why it's crazy to think that people have fought wars over this when really the simple explanation is that why does God appear different to me than it does to you? Because God or the light is all things and it will choose the form that you need the most in that moment. And so that could even change over time and evolve over time because you evolve over time. So like stay open to other people's opinions, stay open to your own change and growth over time. So awesome. Well, that's all I really wanted to say today. I was just going to keep this super brief, and leave that really deeper question about if we're all from the light, then where is the light from? And has anyone else seen visions or felt the idea that there is this black hole womb out in the universe of like deep, intense nothingness where all of everythingness is created from? I don't know. That just sounds super cool to me. And I just feel like we could just continue to go deeper and like our human minds can only understand and contain so much. And then it's like, I don't know. One of those things that really gets me is that time is an illusion and that it's not real. And I'm just like, I think so linearly a lot of the time, like past lives, future self. It's really hard to understand that it's all happening at this now moment, but that's a whole other deeper conversation for another live. You're welcome, Alicia. No problem. Yes. Check out that video yourself if you haven't seen it. It's really like it's really entertaining. You know, because there's this orb experience that happens in it. I describe a lot of my personal experiences seeing souls, but there's this deeper message and truth there for people about the light. It's okay that the light is all things. It's okay that your version of God is different than mine. It actually is still the same God with all potential within it. And like maybe that's why some ancient religions say like God has a million faces. That could not be more true. And the form that comes through is just what you need in the moment, and it could be different from day to day. So Alicia's just saying thank you, you're welcome, and she's saying I shifted a huge amount ever since meeting him, so this was an amazing tip. Awesome, good. And Lacey, thank you. Yes, you saw the video and you love the orb. It was so powerful. Like the timing of that was like ridiculous, right? I literally said, okay, my friend passed away, and this is the first time I ever saw a soul, and then this giant orb just went zoom across the screen, and I had like a big reaction to it. So check the video out on YouTube called Soul Perspective. Consider the deeper question here about if we are all from the light, where is the light from? Is there a beautiful black hole of a womb of nothingness that creates the everythingness? So cool. And I'll just leave you with that thought. I hope you're all having an amazing day and a great week, and I'll see you all soon.